Hey there, how's it going? So in this video I'm going to show you how to write a data frame to a text file. So that will be .txt format. So it will basically have both the header and will be delimited by a pipe. So without further ado, let's get started. This is the data frame that I've read, and as you can see here, so I'm going to be writing it in a text file, and so what I'm going to do next is try to write this whole data frame in text format. So I'm going to say df1 dot write dot format. You can leave format out, just say dot mode. I'm going to use safe mode dot overwrite, then dot text. The part of the text is going to be here, so it's going to be src main resources. I'm going to call it text file. So if I run this one now, so you can see we are getting error. Text data source supports only a single column. So if you're trying to write a whole data frame to a text file, it's not going to allow you, because it has to be basically a single column. So we are going to go ahead to basically make it a single column, and to do that we basically have to convert the data frame to RDD dot map. So what I want to do is basically map each of convert each of the row to sequence. I think it's better if I print out the row for you. So let me say df1 dot rdd dot for each partition I arrow mark print line I dot list. Let me use the sequence. So let me run it. I'll run it into okay. So as you can see, right, this is basically the RDD of the data frame. The first row is having Messi, male 35, then the date, and the second row we have another basically record, and third row we have another record. So what this last code is going to do is basically it's going to map each of these rows and convert them to sequence, right? And then we want to map the sequence dot map and basically concatenate it with empty string, and then after that what we can do to that sequence is basically reduce it by pipe. So we want to concatenate it with pipe, so that will be dot reduce, so plus pipe and plus underscore. So there now we have this we have this RDD concatenated, right, by pipe. So you can use dot write when you on RDD. What you can do is basically convert it to DF, but to convert it to DF you need to import spark.implicit. So I'm going to say dot df then dot write, then that should be fine. We can run it again. Okay, it's finished running. So our file is text file, right? Let's go and check if it's written it. So we've got text file, right? And we've got this .txt file. Let's see what the data looks like. Okay, we got our expected result. The only thing that is missing is the header. So next thing I'm going to do is show you how to add the header. The reason why we're not getting the header, basically we converted the data frame to RDD. So when you do the conversion, it's not going to account for this header. It's just going to take the data and convert them to RDD. So to add the header, one of the approaches I take is basically get the header and create a data frame out of the header and then add it to the original data frame. So let me show you. So let's say val schema equal to df1 dot schema dot map. So I want to map the schema, right? And I want to get the name of that schema, because schema has the name's data type and the no label. So I want to get the name. So if I get the name, and so the next thing I want to do is basically convert the schema to RDD. Basically create RDD out of the schema equal to spark session dot spark context dot parallelize sequence schema. So I already created RDD out of the schema. So the next thing I want to do is basically create a data frame using the RDD. So that will be var new df equal to RDD dot to df dot df. So if I say new df dot show, right, you will see what the output looks like. So this is what the output of the new df looks like. So when we converted it to df, right, we did not specify the columns, I mean the header, so that is why it's using value right here, and it's taking this RDD as an array. So our maker now is basically convert each of these data in this array to a column, right? So to do that, I'm going to first get the size of the column. So let me say var schema, the size of the schema, right? Schema size equal to schema dot size, and then so when I convert this one to df, I want to use select method. So I want to select each of the schema. So to do that, I'm going to iterate over each of these elements. So that will be from 0 until schema size, and what I want to do is basically map each of these. So I want to map each of these number, right, and that will be I. So I'm going to use I'm going to select the value, right, because I want to basically get each of these items. So I'm going to select value column value dot get item. So I'm going to use the index, which is from 0 to score size. So index I. So it's going to map 0, 1, 2, 3, get index 0, index 2, index 3, something like that. Then so once I get each of these item, I want to rename them to a particular column dot as. The column is going to be this schema, right? I think it's better if I print out the schema. Print 9 schema. So I want to rename it to each of the schema. So that will be going to use string interpolation. Schema I. Schema I. So that will basically rename it. But another thing you need to do is basically you need to spread, you are selecting each of these as item, right, and rename them to a particular column name. So you need to spread them inside the select map, because you are not selecting the number, you are actually selecting columns. So you need to spread them. So use colon underscore asterisk to spread them. So now you can say new df.show. So let's run it again. Okay, we've got our results. So this is basically the schema that we printed. So it's name, gender, age, and last update date. And now you can see we've got the schema column names, right? And we've got it the same column name as header. So the next thing I need to do is basically the reason I'm doing this is because I want to add this column name to the data instead of just the data. I want to basically join them together. So to join them, let me get rid of this. So I'm going to say val final df equal to so I'm going to select new df first because I want it to be the first row, the first record. New df dot union df1. df1 is our original column, right? So now we can say final df dot show false, and here I'm going to, instead of using df1, I'm going to use final df. So let's run it. Okay, it's finished running. Let's see what our final df look like. So as you can see, right, we've got our column name, and those column names are now part of the data. It comes in the first row. So let's see the output. So what we've written, this is text file, and you can see the first file is just having the data, right, and the second one is just having the name, gender, age, last updated. Even though it's the final there is part of the column, the parts of the data is still separating them. You remember we used the union, right? It's still separating them. But what we can do is basically, instead of using the default partition, let's use one partition. So so that we will have all this data in one file. So to do that, we are going to use coalesce. So we can say here dot coalesce number of partitions is going to be 1. So let's run it again. Okay, now it has changed to one file, right? So you will see we now have both the headers and the data in one file. So so that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and leave a comment. Okay, have a lovely day and goodbye.